Hey guys, welcome back to Making Everyday Magic. My name is Shauna. If you are new here, we are a secular homeschool family. We have two little girls, a third grade and a pre-K-er. Today, let's talk about where to start with homeschool planning. Before we go any further, please scroll down, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. As always, I am trying to answer your questions and help out in any way that I can. If you have any ideas for any videos, any comments, concerns, questions, any of that, you can either head right on down to the comment section below or right on over to Instagram at Making Everyday Magic, and I will get back to you ASAP. Let's talk about homeschool planning. And yes, it is that time. We are deep, almost to the end of January. And many of you are first-year homeschoolers this year for the 2020-2021 school year. And you're making those decisions about whether or not you're going to continue with this way of life for the 2021-2022 school year. So this is honestly about the time you need to start figuring out where to start with your planning. Now, if I am not covering what you want to see here because I plan on doing a whole series on planning, because guys, I'm doing it myself anyway, so I might as well turn to the camera and take you along. Let me know if you have specific questions or concerns, and I will do my best to answer those questions or help you out or find someone who can help answer those questions. It really is about that time to start planning again. And so many people with the COVID situation came to homeschooling so much later than they expected. I think we really all thought that virtual schooling and this pandemic would be under control by now, but it's not. So we are going to have to be making decisions going forward. The most important thing that we can do in our homeschool planning process, guys, we need to be honest. We need to be honest with ourselves and self-aware. Like, are we really wanting to do this again? Or for the first time? Maybe you haven't officially jumped to homeschooling yet and you're like, man, I'm gonna do it. Everybody did it last year. I skipped that boat. I'm gonna do it this year. That's fine. Now is the time to get honest, get truthful with yourself, and start making these decisions. So the very first thing that you want to do when you're starting to plan to homeschool is decide if you are going to homeschool. Are you going to do it for the first time? Are you going to continue? Are you going to give it up? So the most important thing that you can decide is to decide if you're going to homeschool. The very next thing I identified as a secular homeschooler. So you need to know if you want a homeschool education for your kiddos that is more like public school in the sense that it is devoid from religious influence, or do you want something is genuinely most traditionally homeschool situations, which is it does have religious influence in the curriculum choices and in the things that are being done. We choose to be secular. Most homeschoolers are religious. So you need to decide if you will be secular or religious homeschooler. This will help point you in the direction of what we are going to get to next, guys. This will help you go in the direction of the correct curriculum choices for you and for your family. It's very important because it's very hard to find secular curriculum choices, but you don't want to have a very strong religious pull and then wind up getting something that's secular and it go against what you believe. So it's very important to narrow down if you want to go secular, if you want to go religious. It is important because you need to fully understand what that means as far as your options and choices. That way you can best do the research to help your homeschool success. The next thing that you need to do, another honest thing here, guys, you need to know, honestly, how much time and effort you want to put into this. Because this is another thing that varies wildly and will help you make your curriculum decisions. There are different kinds of curriculum. I tend to use more of an open and go. There are many curriculums where you have to source a lot of stuff. You have to do a lot of lesson planning and a lot of work. I'm honest with myself. That is not a thing I'm going to do. If I do that, I'm a lot less likely to be successful with a lot of other stuff going on. That's not where I want to put my time and effort. But you need to know where you're going to put your time and effort, where you want to spend your time and effort, how much time and effort you're going to put in. Because if you're honest with yourself and you know that you're not going to spend 4 hours a week lesson planning, maybe don't go with something that requires 4 hours a week of lesson planning. It's really important, guys. These last two questions, religious tones, time and effort, these things are going to help you decide your curriculum. Right along with that, because this is another thing that plays huge into curriculum, is your homeschooling budget. I do plan to come back pretty soon and try to film different options for different homeschool budgets. If you don't know your budget, you need to learn it. Homeschooling can be very expensive. The open and go curriculum kits can be very expensive. Homeschool can be very cheap, but it requires a lot more time and effort. So you have to figure out where all of this will equalize for your homeschool, okay? So it's very important, very, very important to know your budget, and you need to know this before you start shopping, because then you can decide if it's worth the splurge or not worth the splurge. But you do not want to start buying things and then find out that, homeschooling is gonna cost you like $10,000. Don't do that. Set your budget, stick to it ahead of time. So your money budget, your time and effort budget, and then figure out what secular, non-secular, okay? These are the things that are really important to know and will help you make those decisions pretty easily once you determine where your values are, where you're gonna put the most weight in those other questions. That will help you figure out specifically which curriculums to go with. So that will point you in a great direction. You're narrowing the path, you're getting to where you need to go as far as curriculum selection. So that takes you to the next thing is your curriculum style. So all of those other questions will help you determine if you want a secular, non-secular religious curriculum, if it is an open and go or something you're going to spend a lot of time doing your lesson planning. If it is, let's say, maybe piecemeal or teachers pay teachers or a full-blown curriculum kit with your budget, these are all things that are going to figure into helping you figure out your curriculum style. Okay, so it's really important to answer those questions first and to answer them honestly. Something else that can be really important in your homeschool, guys, is you need to figure out what your schedule is. Do you work a job? I personally work from home. I have a few hours a day to devote to homeschooling, and I like to stick with a little bit of a shortened school year, about 30 weeks if possible. I like to schedule it around our big times when our dance life is very busy. I like to take vacations. Some people prefer to do year-round homeschooling. These are all things that are going to set your homeschool up for success. If you can answer these questions ahead of time, you can know how you can space these things out, guys. And when you're getting ready to homeschool, don't forget to be sure that you're complying with those homeschool laws in your specific state and area. It is very important to do everything legally and on the up and up when you're getting ready to homeschool. So when you're starting your planning, go ahead and do your research and know what your obligations as a homeschooler are in your state and area. In some places, you can actually, not here where I am, but you can actually get funds from the state to go toward your homeschooling. So that can help with your budget. So it's important to know what your expectations are as far as legally adhering to your laws, but also what benefits you get from homeschooling in your area. It can be a really huge help. So guys, when you're getting ready to homeschool, don't forget to Google and do your research. It is very important to be sure that you have thoroughly looked through all of these things. And these are the most important things to do before you even start looking at which specific curriculum or, buying pencils and all those other things. These are the foundational steps that are going to set you up for success when establishing your homeschool plans. And the very first thing that you need to do is answer this list of questions. Okay, so if you can do these things, I am certain that you will be set up for success in your homeschool journey. Now, I will be sharing much more about planning, how to do these things, hopefully different homeschool styles for different budgets, and I am excited to share all of that with you going forward. If you have a specific question, scroll down to those comments and let me know, or head on over to Instagram and let me know, shoot me a DM. Guys, I hope that you found any of this helpful, entertaining, or informative. I am so excited that you're going to start this homeschool journey or continue this homeschool journey with us. If you found any of this helpful, guys, hit that big red subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. I am looking forward to being back here with you, sharing more planning tips, more things about the way we're doing things. By all means, guys, please always share back with me those things that you're doing. I will, you guys know, we use the Timber Doodle curriculum kits. We use their non-religious curriculum kits. That works for me. I answered these questions. If it's my life, I like that it's mostly open and go. I will link what we use down below, and I probably have already tagged up in the corner those curriculum unboxing kits. So Come back here. We will be doing a lot more homeschool planning for the 2021-2022 school year that's coming up. If this was your first year homeschooling, I hope that you have found enough peace in it to continue going along. I'm sorry that you came here under the crazy circumstances of a pandemic, but I hope that you found happiness in your homeschooling journey, guys. Thanks again, and thanks for always coming back here to Making Everyday Magic and hanging out with me for a bit. Bye, guys.